welcome back to my channel. So the new year is fast approaching, and I thought that with the new year coming, there's going to be a few parties and a few celebrations to attend. So I thought those types of occasions need some sort of fancy look involving glitter and lots of colour. So I came up with this neutral-ish cut crease with a pop of festive colour on the lower lash line, as well as a really bold red lip, which I thought was really festive, fits in with kind of the Christmas and New Year theme. And yeah, I think that's all I've got to say, so I really do hope you enjoy. Make sure you subscribe and like and comment and yes, all of that. I'm going to go now back. So I'm going to begin by prepping my face with the Professional Primer by Benefit. I have to say this has been one of my favourite primers of 2016, so I would definitely recommend this. I'm going to be putting this all over my face to make sure that I have a good base for my makeup so that it'll stay on and go on smoothly. Then I'll be using this Garnier BB cream with a beauty blender. This is the one that I used in my Get Ready With Me, so obviously I do use this daily. I really love this stuff, and I'm just going to be using that all over my face just to kind of even out my skin tone a bit, ready for my contour. After that, I'll be using this Makeup Revolution Ultra Cream Contour Palette. I'll be using this along with some jojoba oil, or jojoba oil as it's spelt. I'm not really sure how to pronounce it. So I'm just going to be spraying the jojoba oil onto each one to kind of moisten it a bit and make it easier to apply. I'm just using this foundation brush to apply it, as well as blending it out with a normal beauty blender. Now time to bake my face. I'm using a different beauty blender and some baby powder to bake my face. Just put it in this collection pressed powder tub that ran out on me. Well done, thank you very much. I'm just going to put this under my eyes and on my chin till I look kind of crazy. So yes, do that. Time for brows, so I begin by using just a classic spoolie to brush through my brows and just make sure they are all in place. Then I go on to using the Makeup Revolution Smoky Eye palette, and I'm using this brown colour here. So now I'll be setting my contour using Hoola Bronzer by Benefit. So I'll just be going over my contour wherever I contoured, just to set that in place and make sure it doesn't move at all during the day. Now my bake would have set, so I'm now going to brush it away using this really fluffy brush. So I'll just use really quick sweeping motions to brush away the bake and make sure it's all gone. And I'm also going to use the excess of that powder to kind of go over my nose, because that's where I get really oily during the day, and I know that's kind of gross, but that's what happens. Reality, people, reality. Now I'm going to use Urban Decay's Primer Potion to prime my eyes and make sure that the eyeshadow doesn't move at all. Also, this product brings out the pigment a bit to make sure it kind of stands out a lot, which is something that is kind of crucial in a look like this. So I begin by using a transition colour on a Morphe fluffy brush. This is the colour I'm using. It's kind of like a pinkish skin tone type thing. This is just going to be a transition colour so that everything blends nicely when I add the darker colours. Now I'll be taking a much smaller brush and this brown colour, and I'm going to be placing that in kind of the outer upper corner of my eye. This is just going to add a little bit of depth, and I'm also going to be blending that into my crease and slightly outwards towards my temple, so that when I begin to cut crease, it makes it really obvious and it makes it stand out a lot more. Now to make that cut crease stand out even more, I'm going to be taking this black colour just to add a little bit more depth and a little bit more of a contrast when we begin to cut that crease. Now if you're anything like me, then you're either too lazy or too poor to buy a paint pot. And if you're also anything like me, you will probably own one of these cover sticks that you can get from Miss Sporty and So Clear do a few. I find that these work perfectly for this kind of thing. I'm taking this on a concealer brush to put on my eyelids. I'm going to put the concealer all over my eyelids, making sure that there's a really clear line, so you get that really defined line of your crease. Then I'm going to begin bringing it out towards my temple. almost like I'm extending my eyelid. Here's where it's really important that you don't open your eye too much, because you don't want the concealer spreading all the way up your eyelid and making a huge mess of it. I'm then going to be taking this gorgeous gold colour from the Makeup Revolution Salvation palette, and I'm going to be putting that all over my lid, as well as the bit that we extended from outside of your lid, just to set that concealer, as well as adding a little bit of extra glitter, because you can't have enough glitter. Now for the difficult bit, the eyeliner. I'm just using the Rimmel London Waterproof Gel Eyeliner. This is really difficult because you've got to make sure that the wing is quite thin, and you want to make sure that it's parallel to the upper line of your cut crease. This may take a few practices. I know the first time I did it, I made a total mess of it. Make sure it's parallel, make sure it's thin. That's all you have to know, just do it that way. For the festive pop of colour, I'll be using this red, it's very bright, kind of neon orange reddish colour from the Lorac Beginners Collection. I'm just going to be blending that underneath my lower lash line and smoking that out to make it look as seamless as possible. I've used this Gosh in 14 Fox. It's this gorgeous kind of red glitter. As you can see, I used a tissue to catch any fallout, to make sure that it doesn't go everywhere, because this red is definitely not a forgiving colour. Now I'll be using this Colour Couture glitter pigment. I thought it would kind of look like snow, so I decided to use that on this is actually a nail art brush. It's really, really thin and really easy to get into very small little crevices. So I'm just using that tissue again and putting that on my inner corner to kind of brighten it up a bit and make me look more awake than I actually feel, because I am dead inside. So now I'm adding large amounts of the Maybelline Lash Sensational Mascara in Waterproof. I've also used a little bit of the Miss Sporty, I know this is a waterproof mascara, also on my bottom lash line. So now I will be highlighting using the Makeup Revolution Radiance palette. I'm going to be using a fan brush to apply that. I'm just sweeping it back and forth on my cheeks, obviously. Now finally, for the face portion, I'll be using High Beam on the more intricate, I guess, parts of my face, because the fan brush can't get into the places like my inner corner of the eye and my brow bone as well. I guess it can do my nose, but I like a lot of highlight on my nose, so I use extra. So the lips are pretty simple for this. I'm just going to be using this red Barry M lip liner to line the outside of my lips. I'm going to leave a little gap in the middle. I'm going to fill in the rest of my lips with this Rimmel London Moisture Renew lipstick in Piccadilly Pink. And there we have it. The look is finally complete. Thank you everyone so much for watching. I really hope you enjoyed. If you did, make sure you leave a like so that I know that you enjoyed, and maybe I may think of some other things for the future. I had so much fun thinking of this idea. It took me a while, which is why this isn't for Christmas, it's for New Year. Again, make sure you subscribe and comment and like and do all of that. And yeah, thanks. Goodbye.